So over the weekend, a bunch of people got together and they decided that they're going to march on some of the memorials that have been closed. How dare Obama close them, except for the fact that he didn't make that decision. The Republicans made that decision. And in fact, if they wanted to, they could put up a vote right now in the House, and Democrats would win that vote because 28 House Republicans would switch over and they would open up the government the very next minute. But they actively blocked that vote every single day, right? So, but nonetheless, some Republicans joined in on this, what was called a Million Vet March. Now, let's get real. There was nowhere near a million people, not remotely, not even close, not even within the ballpark, right? But now every march on Washington is called a million something march. Now, when black folks did it, they had about 1 million people, okay? Everybody else since has had about 17 people. Anyway, and I remember at the time, ha ha, these guys, how dare they? And then everybody else like, God, that's such a good idea. Let's call our march a million something march too. So anyway, in this case, you got some vets, and I'm sure some of them mean well, and they're frustrated by the government shutdown, and I don't blame them, but a lot of Republicans snuck in. A lot of questionable folks snuck in too. There was Confederate flags, and there was Sarah Palin and Ted Cruz as well. So here's Sarah Palin interacting with some of the faithful.
Down with kings in the White House
and tyrants. Down with tyrants.
Hey! Huzzah! I love you, Sarah. I love you, Sarah.
I love you guys.
Sarah, can I get one? Sarah. Love you.
To the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Doesn't quite look like 1 million people. You don't often hear at a protest the word huzzah. That was nice. And then, of course, I love the Palin lovers. Sarah, I love you. I love you, Sarah Palin. In fact, I just lost it in my shorts to you, Sarah Palin. I love you, man. All right, now here comes Ted Cruz.
God bless each and every one of you. 2 weeks ago, the House of Representatives passed legislation to open every memorial in every federal park in this country. 2 weeks ago, the President of the United States signed a written veto threat. He said, if you open the memorial, I will veto it. Make him do it.
Just today, the House Republicans decided not to open any of these again. But we're out here playing politics anyway. Ted Cruz, the most unbearable man in America. But let's go back to Sarah Palin as she riles up the crowd.
Our vets have proven that they have not been timid, so we will not be timid in calling out any who would use our military, our vets, as pawns in a political game.
That appears to be exactly what you're doing. How dare they use our political vets like the ones that surround me now as political pawns as we shut down this government and these parks and then go past the barricades with all of our political pawns? How dare other people do that? In fact, the official stance of the Million Vet March on the memorials put out a statement immediately thereafter saying, the political agenda put forth by a local organizer in Washington, D.C. yesterday was not in alignment with our message. We feel disheartened that some would seek to hijack the narrative for political gain. The core principle was and remains about all Americans honoring veterans in a peaceful and apolitical manner. Our love for and our dedication to remains with veterans regardless of party affiliation or political leanings. In other words, Sarah Palin and Ted Cruz, shut up. This wasn't supposed to be political speeches, and you weren't supposed to hijack the event and, by the way, use us as political pawns.